folks. We're at GDC with my good friend Randy Gordon, or J. Randy Gordon, as we call him.
Hi there. How's it going, Zenny?
Excellent. Randy, introduce John.
This is John O'Neill. He's the president of Sparkplug Games in Cary, North Carolina. And John, you're having a lot of meetings here at the GDC. Who are some of the folks that you have run across?
Meeting with a lot of great industry professionals we've known for many years. Some fantastic new people we've started working with from the ECA.
Oh.
A lot of growth in Unity, a lot of growth in mobile, tablet. It's exciting. It's an exciting
My
time.
viewers' real elementary question: what's Sparkplug Games all about?
Sparkplug Games is an independent game developer based out of Cary, North Carolina. About 12 of us. Many of us have been in the industry for over 15 years. Decided it was time to get back to our roots.
So you started since you were 15 years old?
Sure, we'll go with
that.
Yeah,
okay.
I've been playing games long before
that's
that.
right, yeah.
What are some of the titles that some of the people might recognize that you've been involved with?
Last year we released a game with Namco called Puzzle Quest 2 for iOS. Right. We did a couple of variants of Pac-Man for them. We also released a game called Lost in Time Clockwork Tower. A couple of Match 3 games, some work with Dairy Queen, International Dairy Queen. I don't know if Warren Buffett has called us yet, but we're still waiting for it.
Hey, let me ask, what's the biggest change, and also you too, because you've been in the industry a long time, what's the biggest change in the gaming industry you've seen over the 20 years you've been involved?
Yes.
You first and then Randy, okay?
It's exciting because one of the biggest things, and actually a fundamental change that we've gone through as a company, even in the last year, recently bringing on a marketing director, because we're no longer just building games for ourselves. This is now a general consumer goods industry. So we're building products for the masses, which is absolutely exciting because we're not talking about just a few million people. We're talking about the entire world playing games on the web, on smartphones, on tablets, on consoles. It just opens up the opportunities, and so we're not limiting ourselves to just thinking about what games would I like to play, but what games would everyone like to play.
What do you think?
Having worked at Sony PlayStation and at Ubisoft, what I can tell you is that it is no longer just a console and PC world. It is so wide open, from like BlackBerry to, as John was saying, tablet. And so there's been a whole paradigm shift almost away from the publishers, where the developers, like a Sparkplug Games, is pretty much able to go straight out to the mass market, and it's the wild, wild west all over again.
Do you see a merging between gaming and communications now? Digital, it seems like they're all, particularly now that iPhones and iPads have games on them, but then now we're going to a place where you can pay for your game use, but then what's next?
It's so 27 seconds ago, and it already happened.
I just interviewed somebody.
I think it's been there, done that.
Payment one. That's what payment one. Yeah.
I don't know. It's an interesting road ahead, and it's got a lot of twists and turns, and it's very foggy. It's really hard to say, but I mean, there has been a major convergence.
Come on, you're the great seer. Come on, tell us.
I'll help you out there.
Yeah. What say you, John? Tell us.
Here's one of the big things. I kind of sum it up like this. We used to be the people who play games define themselves as gamers.
Right.
Now you have people who are playing games who don't think about games except when they're playing games. And are they gamers, are they not? Everyone's picking up smartphones, everyone's playing on the web. And so while they're engaged...
Like Alec Baldwin.
Exactly.
Who got kicked off the plane.
And
playing what was
probably
he was playing Angry Birds.
One of my games. He needs to play one of ours instead.
Yeah.
So if he's out there, come on by. We'll set him up with some free games. Although that's another interesting thing too, because most games that are being launched now in the casual space are coming out for free. You have to get out there. You have to get it to the masses, and then you monetize in a very small sub-percentage. Right or wrong, it's not really the question. It's the way it's being done right now.
Is it harder to make money in gaming now because there's so much stuff out there?
It depends on who you are. I went to a panel yesterday, so all this virtual currency is like totally social currency.
Yeah.
And so, and pretty much whether it's like wives gifting their husbands and buying something to kind of expand their game playability by buying something that's useful in a game that they are playing. I mean, it's wide open.
Something that we've noticed, we've traditionally worked with publishers in more of a developer console publisher sense, and that's shifting to developers being able to create independent products. But you haven't eliminated the need for publishers, and you especially haven't eliminated the need for relationships. And I think that's where you really continue to make money, is by partnerships that you build. as opposed to developer, publisher, work-for-hire relationships. Fantastic groups that are all over GDC here now are showing ways that you can cross-promote your application with other applications that are out there, games and otherwise. So you have to tap into an existing market or find an audience that already exists and expose them to the great games that so many new developers are coming out with.
So relationships are the best currency.
Always king.
Does anyone else say this too? Is that pretty much like one of the next great films I think is going to come like right out of the show? It's the next Angry Birds, or if Angry Birds is doing a theme park in Finland or like licensing themselves like everywhere, it's the next IP that's going to then become a film. So transmedia's buzzword that we always talk about is very much alive and kicking, and that's why they'll be the first transmedia.
What is transmedia?
Cross-media, cross-platform. It's essentially like a IP kind of going across all these different devices, if you will. And even looking at PlayStation Vita yesterday.
So like Zenny62, we're transmedia. We're YouTube, Twitter, Facebook.
Zenny62?
Yeah.
Oh, everything is at Zenny62 Media? Right, it's how you are.
We were transmedia
before the term was created.
Before the term was created.
Duck on it. Yeah.
But no, I do think that you're going to see some game IP coming out of here that you'll see, whether it's in a short film, a feature film, etc. What do you think about that, John?
Next time you go to the airport, see if you can find yourself a box of Angry Birds gummy bears. I just bought some. Yes, I admit it. I'm a sucker for it. Actually, it was pretty good. But it's recognizable. It's brands that are now starting in gaming and evolving to movies, to books, to toys.
That's right.
To candy. Everyone loves candy.
But the expanded game playability is going to.
Where's the M&M game?
That was like back in.
Mars.
That was like back in 1997. No, but no, it was.
You're right. You're right.
But
you're right.
maybe it was the Red Dot game from 7-Up. But all this expanded playability, people, to answer your question earlier, is that money is still there. It's just being apportioned differently. It's just being spread out to different people. So it's not going just into the Electronic Arts coffer. It's not going just to Nintendo
That's
coffer.
what I mean.
It's microtransactions.
It's right.
Smaller transactions. It's not $60 expenditures. It's 50 cents, $1, $2, things that are much more cheaper than a coffee from Starbucks. It's cheaper than a can of Coke.
Huh.
So if you're talking about millions and millions of people engaged with a property and a certain percentage of those people buying the property in a microtransaction form, I'll still take 10 million people who are paying $1 for one piece, as opposed to selling to 10,000 people at $50.
It's a very big pie. It's a very big bucket.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It's only going to keep growing. So we'll see you at GDC 2013.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great to meet you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks, Randy.
Thank you.